The Dr. Rose Polge Award is being awarded by Medic Footprints for the individual or the company that's contributed the most to doctors' wellbeing this year.
The winner of our Dr. Rose Polge Award 2017 is a platform where doctors can freely express how they are feeling. It is, of course, the wonderful Tea and Empathy.
Thank you. I feel very honoured to have this opportunity to accept this award on behalf of the entire membership of Tea and Empathy. I never imagined that in less than two years we would have more than 4,000 members of every grade and every discipline. And that is phenomenal. We're still growing, we get applications for membership daily. We have specialist groups for people who perhaps are so stigmatised that they still need that extra level of privacy. And I hope that one day we won't be needed.
So I'm Dr. Caroline Walker. I'm a co-founder of Tea and Empathy. Myself and a group of doctors and one medical student set Tea and Empathy up here in February 2016. There was a junior doctor named Rose who lived down in Devon, and she went missing one day from work, and there was an assumption that something terrible had happened, that she may have taken her life, but we didn't know. And at that time there was a very active Facebook group because it was the time of the junior doctor contract disputes in the UK. And one of the local doctors to where Rose lives posted on that group saying, Rose, if you're out there, please do get in touch. I'd love to make you a cup of tea. I'd love to, just listen and just be a supportive colleague. And she ended that message by saying, if anybody else out there would like to support their colleagues in any way, please respond to this post with the phrase tea and empathy. And where you are, and about 1,000 people responded overnight because I think it just captured a moment, where doctors across the country, and in fact across the world, were struggling.
So there are a lot of people here supporting Rose today, which is fantastic. We've got Mark and Heather, her parents, Hazel, her sister, and we've also got her best friends Iona and Beth coming.
It's incredible, people go there every day just to share those sort of everyday difficulties that we all struggle with, and they're met with compassion and kindness and support. All things that I think as NHS workers we're all desperate to give one another, but we just don't have the time.
The posts can vary from what inspirational film to watch to struggling F1s who believe that they are frauds, asking or begging for someone to clarify that it's normal to feel this way.
Yeah, it's amazing that when we heard at Tea and Empathy, it really is a group made up of all of its members. There's 4,500 of us. It just rippled through the group like this lovely wave. And yeah, we're so thrilled and excited that it's been recognised, that what we're doing there is really making a positive difference in doctors' lives.
We had some other nominees for the Dr. Rose Polge Award, and one of which was Terry, who is a confidential advisor at the Imperial School of Anaesthesia, and she was nominated by her anaesthetic trainees for providing a vast amount of support throughout their training there. And the Doctors Support Network was also chosen as a nominee for its forum of advice for doctors who struggle with mental health conditions.
So if I had to give 3 tips for struggling doctors, I could give hundreds. I think I would start with, get help and get help early. There is help out there. Then I would say give yourself permission to set your own boundaries and set your own healthy ways of being and living and being a doctor. So allow yourself to leave work on time, allow yourself to take breaks and to stop to drink water. All those basic things that we sometimes find so hard to do when we're so focused on caring for other people. And thirdly, I think you could give yourself time. So often as doctors we're kind of running at 100 miles an hour, we're very high functioning, and and we can, achieve great things in a short space of time, but we want those kind of immediate results. We want to kind of fix the problem and feel better straight away, and actually sometimes the struggles that we're dealing with aren't things that can just be magicked away overnight. So I think give yourself time to get used to the idea that maybe you're going through something that you need a bit of help with. Get that help and give yourself permission to do what you need to do to stay well.
I think from the tragedy of what happened to Rose, all we can do is try and take positives from a really, really negative experience, and try and create more forums of advice for junior doctors. We can try and get junior doctors and other healthcare professionals who are struggling to speak out. I think stigmatisation amongst the medical profession is a real issue, and it leads to shame, and it leads to secrecy and an inability for doctors to talk out about how they're feeling, and we need to change this.
So I'm a doctor. Throughout my 20s I had about 12 episodes of depression where I had low mood for between 2 weeks and 6 months at a time, and then after I had my son in my 30s I developed episodes of high mood as well. So at that point I was re-diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And yeah, it's been a real struggle at times. I also struggle with addictions, and I think that's a very, very highly stigmatised area still for doctors. So I share my history quite openly because I think it's important that doctors know it's okay. It's really common. I guess the main message I try to give is it's okay, whatever it is you're struggling with. 1 in 4 doctors will struggle with a mental health problem. We're not alone, and I think the horrible thing about mental health, mental disorders is often they can be very isolating. It can really make you feel like really ashamed, really like you're the only one that's going through it, and you're not. We're not. None of us are. So yeah, to all of you who voted for Tea and Empathy for this award, I just thank you so, so much. On behalf of the 4,500 members, it's just amazing for us to be recognised for doing something that, is so simple and yet so important, which is to be kind to one another. And please come and join us on Facebook at Tea and Empathy.